Hey everyone, it's Talia here. Welcome back to another swatch video on my channel. Today I have the new KoKo and Claire Spa collection, as well as the Clear Jelly Stamper Crazy Plant Lady stamping plate. So in this video, I'm going to do some swatches, and I'm also going to do 2 demos featuring these type of products. Number 165, Bliss, is a pearl hot pink type of shade, and this entire collection, you guys are going to notice, features a whole bunch of pearly type of shades. What I'm noticing when I'm applying this particular shade is that it is going on fairly sheer. So I think that's kind of what the purpose of this collection is, in all honesty, because a lot of the different colors that you guys are going to notice in this collection do the same type of thing. If you want them to be super opaque and super concentrated, you're going to have to do 3 really thin coats. I do find that by the second coat here, you can see that they are quite a bit more pigmented, but they're still a little bit see-through, and I actually really like that about this collection, especially with them being softer tones and softer shades. I'm just thinking of so many different ideas of what you can do with these type of colors because they are a little bit see-through. Number 166, Serenity, is my favorite color from this entire collection. It is a soft green, but it almost looks a little bit gray, kind of depending on how the light hits it. To me, this just screams like a nature spa type of color. I just think it is so calming and just such a pretty shade. This one I found, if you wanted it to be super opaque, you did need those 3 coats. What I was noticing when I applied the second coat is that it was quite a bit more pigmented, but it looked a little bit more gray than green. So I wanted to see what the third coat did, and the third coat definitely makes it look a little bit more green. So if you were going to use this, it kind of depends on what you're looking for with it. Number 167, called Awake, is like a muted pearl chartreuse green, and this type of tone I thought was just so nice for like spring florals or spring nails, or even a good transition color leading into summer here. I just think that this is such a nice green. It would make a fantastic green to go on like an accent nail if you wanted the rest of them to just be like neutral colors. Number 168, Calm, is a medium pearl blue. I love this. It's a really nice like medium sapphire color. I think this is just such a pretty shade of blue. Again, we have that subtle first coat here where it just kind of looks like a nice pearl effect. Honestly, you guys, if you wanted to do this over top of a white, you could really just change the look of whatever white you put it on top with just doing 1 coat of whatever of these colors that you're applying. But here we're going in with the second coat, and you can see how it kind of builds it up a little bit more. And then with a third coat, it makes it just super beautiful, super rich, dark blue. But it kind of just depends on what you want. And I like that about this collection because you can either go really subtle with the pearl, or you could just build it up. 169 is called Dream, and it is a graphite gray pearl. I really like this one. I think that this is a fantastic color for winter nails, for fall nails. I love how if you just do the 1 coat initially, it looks a little bit more silver. And then as you build it up, we're getting that really nice graphite gray color. This is a fantastic color to marble with as well because it's not quite a black, so it'll add a little bit of more contrast if you combine it with a black and a white when you're doing like marble stone nails. Number 170 is called Dusk, and Dusk is like your neutral caramel type of color. This color, as soon as I saw it, I thought would make a fantastic background for any type of art that you're going to place it on top of. I really like how it kind of has like a hint of like a terracotta color to it, which actually pairs really nicely with the stamping plate that I'm going to share with you guys. If you were going to use this as the background with the different plants, stamping images that I'm going to share with you, it would just be a really fantastic backdrop for so many different images. Last color in the collection is called number 171, Captivates, and this one is similar to the last one except it's a little bit more orange in color. So we do have a really nice orange color in this collection as well. And I love the first coat of this because it looks like a nice soft gold if you're just going to do one coat. But again, like the rest of the colors in this collection, you can build it up to be kind of what you're looking for from these different types of shades. Now, these type of pearl shades are my favorite type of shades to do any sort of marble stone or marbling with, which I'm going to demo for you guys right away here. For the demo portion of this video, I did want to do some marbling because as soon as I saw these tones and these shades, I thought they would make a fantastic marble nail, and it can be a little tricky to marble with gel polish, so I did want to give you guys some tips and tricks. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a really bright white, which is number 49 from KoKo and Claire, and it is just a fantastic white gel polish. I'm also going to take a little bit of my strong gel, and I'm just going to mix the two of them together just to kind of tone down that frosting a little bit. I do like to use like one matte type of color whenever I marble, but because these tones are just so soft, I didn't want it to be like a stark bright white. Next, I'm going to take a little bit of shine and I'm going to put this directly on the nail, just kind of in the middle, and this is going to make the marble colors kind of bleed together a little bit better because it is such a runny gel. Now, when you're working with gel polishes in any sort of marbling, you want to make sure you're not working too thick because one, it's going to create a really thick nail, and two, you could have problems with them curing as well. So once I have my green Serenity down, I'm just going to take my brush and I'm going to lift up some of that white gel polish that I made and then gently place it on the nail, and doing my best not to let everything marble together too much because that can create kind of a mess when you're marbling. Less is more when it comes to marbling, and also when it comes to marbling, don't judge what you're doing until you have your top gloss on because sometimes it can just look like a hot mess until you get your top gloss on. But I decided to go in with some of the Dusk shade just to add a little bit of contrast between the Serenity and the bright white. And when I'm looking at my marble nails, I like to have a good mix of both the white and the other two colors that I am pairing it with as well. So I just kind of add different colors onto the nail until I'm happy with the outcome. And I also like to take kind of a finer brush and just gently drag some of the colors together too. But the best thing to do when you're doing these type of marble nails is to just focus on the layers. So if the first layer doesn't go as good as we want it to, don't worry, we're going to go in and we're going to add some foiling, and we're also going to add some more gel polish on top once we're done the base too. And this way it'll add a little bit more depth and dimension to the design, but it'll also cover up any sort of mess or bleeding that we have happening when the colors kind of like melt together a little bit. I'm going to cure that, and then I'm going to take some rose gold foil here, and I'm just going to go straight on top of the dispersion layer here, and I'm just going to randomly do some patterns. And I did have a little bit of a gap where there wasn't really any gel polish, and that's where I tried to focus the foiling as well. But I knew I was going to come in with some of the Serenity color here and just kind of cover that up as well. Remember guys, do this in layers. So take a little bit more of the Dusk color, a little bit more of the white, and just kind of build it up. It also works really well to kind of cover up over top of those foils a little bit, and because these gels are a little bit see-through too, you can see some of those foils from beneath it kind of poking through, which is fantastic because it means we're getting some of those layers coming through as well. So after that's done, I'm going to give it a good cure, and then I'm going to take it out and put my top gloss on, and this design is done. So a really simple marble nail that would be a fantastic accent nail to any of these type of shades in this collection. I did want to play around with the Crazy Plant Lady stamping plate, and this is the design that I came up with that I'm going to demo for you guys here right away. So Clear Jelly Stamper came out with this plate. It is Let's Collab number 7, and it is a collaboration with Redhead Nails, and it is a plant stamping plate. I love this for multiple reasons. I love that we have a whole bunch of little potted plants, we have some text, we have some font on here as well, but all of these greenery can be used on their own for any sort of floral nails, which I love. So I'm going to take some of Serenity, and I'm going to do this as the base. I just love this color so much, and I did go in with 2 coats here, cured it, and put a matte top gloss on so that I could stamp right on top of it. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about are these little sponges that I found on Amazon, and I'm going to use them for scraping off my scraper when it's covered in polish. You guys will see it demoed here right away, but it's working really well because I just soaked it in a little bit of acetone and I just scrape my scraper off, and I don't have to go through a ton of wipes, which is what I tend to usually do, is go through a ton of wipes just scraping my scraper off. I will leave the different products that I'm using for this demo in the description box below because I'm going to have to look them up. But they have so many fabulous greens from Clear Jelly, so I picked a bunch of my favorite ones. And I wanted to do some vines because I love these images, just kind of hanging from the sides of the nail. And then I wanted to stamp like a hanging plant in the middle, and then stamping the little plant on the stand at the bottom was kind of like a last minute decision, but I just loved the little stand. So first we're going to start off with the vines, and I wanted to do them stamped in a couple of different shades of green just on the side here. If I ever have a little area that needs to be kind of wiped off on the nail, I will take these micro swabs and just kind of clean them up with a little bit of acetone. And because my little hanging plant is going to go right here, I did need to clean those up. So I decided to make the hanging plant hanging in black. That way it would be really stark. You could also do it in like silver or even like a gold or something would look really nice, but I really wanted the hanging plants to stand out. And this particular shade here, again, I'll leave it in the description box below, is the perfect kind of terracotta colored for the little plants stands. I think these little stands that the plants can kind of sit on are just so fantastic, so I did want to include them in this design as well, and I decided to pick this one here. The nice thing about them is you can use a whole bunch of the different pots on this stamping plate in combination with some of the different stands as well. They don't all have to go with their specific one, which is what I really like about it too. And same thing goes for the greenery. Just because it's kind of paired in the demo to go with a certain one doesn't mean that you have to. You can definitely use this plate in so many different ways. It's a very versatile plant plate, and I personally think I'm going to get tons of use out of it, not just for creating plant decorations like this, but combining it with some of my floral plates. That's another thing. You could also bring in your floral plates that you have in your collection and kind of add some different colors to this design too, in combination with the greenery. So after I've top glossed, this is the design that I came up with. There's just so much you can do with this stamping plate, as well as the KoKo and Claire Spa Collection colors. I think both of these launched at a fantastic time leading into summer, where you're going to be wearing a lot more kind of greenery nails. You can combine these type of shades with some of your brighter tones to kind of tone them down a little bit. Just both very versatile plates and polish collection. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some tips and tricks for working with kind of these sheer pearl colors, as well as a new stamping plate from Clear Jelly Stamper. Make sure you're following me on all my social media, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!